The Unstoppable Dream, a story of grit and glory. In a small town surrounded by dusty roads and endless fields, there lived a boy named Rohan. He wasn't rich, he wasn't privileged, and he had nothing except a dream. While other kids played, Rohan ran. Barefoot, through the scorching heat, dodging sharp stones and broken roads, he sprinted with one thought in his mind: one day, I'll be the fastest. One day, the world will know my name. But dreams, they say, are expensive. His family was poor, barely making enough to eat. His father, a laborer, often returned home with blistered hands and tired eyes. His mother stitched clothes late into the night to keep the family afloat. People around him mocked his ambition. Running won't fill your stomach. Why waste time chasing the impossible? Even his own relatives sneered. Become a farmer like your father. Dreams don't feed families. But Rohan had one answer for everything he ran. The training of a warrior. Without shoes, without a coach, without proper training, he refused to quit. He woke up at 4 a.m. when the world was still asleep. He ran through the empty roads, the wind against his face. He used stones as weights, his own shadow as competition. He watched champions on a small, flickering TV studying their moves, believing, one day, I will be there. His body hurt. His muscles ached. Some nights, he slept hungry. But he never stopped. The moment of truth, his first race. One day, he got his first chance. A small district-level race was announced. The winner would get a scholarship, a ticket out of poverty. Rohan signed up immediately. The day of the race arrived. The ground was packed. Young athletes in brand-new sports shoes stood beside him. They smirked at his torn clothes and his bare feet. A whistle blew. The race began. Rohan ran like never before. Faster. Stronger. His heartbeat roared in his ears, but he didn't slow down. He overtook one runner. Then another. He was inches away from the finish line. And then he fell. His foot hit a rock. He crashed hard. Pain shot through his knees. Blood soaked the dirt. The crowd gasped. His mother covered her mouth in horror. The other runners dashed past him. For a moment, the world stood still. Most people would stay down. Most would think it's over. But Rohan? He clenched his fists, gritted his teeth, and got up. The pain was unbearable, but he ran again. His legs felt like lead, but he refused to stop. He finished the race last, but he finished. Tears burned his eyes. He lost the race. But in that moment, he knew he had won something bigger. He had won against himself. The road to glory. That night, he didn't cry. He didn't quit. Instead, he trained harder. He ran longer. He pushed himself more. He entered every race he could find. He failed again. And again. And again. But every time he fell, he got back up. Years later, on a stage bigger than he had ever imagined, Rohan stood as the national champion. The same people who once laughed at him, they now stood in awe. The same relatives who doubted him, they now told his story. The boy who had nothing now had everything. When asked about his success, Rohan simply smiled and said, I didn't win because I was the fastest. I won because I never stopped running. Moral of the story: your success is not measured by how many times you fall, but by how many times you rise. Dreams don't come true because of luck. They come true because of persistence, pain, and never giving up. If you believe in yourself, the world will have no choice but to believe in you too.